April 27th from the First Direct Arena in Leeds. One place to watch it all, and that is live on DAZN. Jamie Ward here to bring you all the action from today's press conference this evening in Manchester. Alongside me, former WBC World Cruiserweight King, the bomber, Mr. Tony Bellew. Tony, what a turnout, and you just get the big fight feel, don't you? Eddie called it a bit of a throwback to the old press conferences. He referenced a few of yours as well, but what a great turnout here today.
It's great seeing all these guys turn out, making noise and appreciating their fighter. It's brilliant for boxing, and this is what boxing's all about.
And when you think about yesterday's press conference, is it safe to say that it did what it said it was going to do on the tin? It delivered, didn't it, really, as we expected?
It was always going to happen. These lads can't stand each other. It's personal now, and it's got history to add to it as well. So I cannot wait for April the 27th, and all the fans here can't wait, especially Jack and also Josh. So it's got all the markings for a great fight, and now it's personal.
And when you think about rematches, Tony, you're no stranger to domestic grudge matches. The likes of Nathan Cleverly spring to mind. Of course, the two great fights with David Haye. But as a fighter, what do you have to do to control that animosity? I asked that to Darren Barker yesterday.
It's tough because you have to detach yourself emotionally. The minute you get emotionally involved or invested in a fight, it's going to take away your energy, and it's just going to do things to you that you don't want to happen in a fight. As you can see yesterday, both guys are emotionally invested, but they're also both brilliant fighters, and they'll be able to switch off come fight night because they don't want to be heading to the ring with that kind of emotion in their eyes.
And as I say, with these rematches that tend to cut through, there's always a bit of animosity, of course, two great fighters, but the need to settle a score. Aside from the fight, like you just said there, what excites you about the whole feud between these two and where it comes from?
I think, listen, everyone knows what happened on that first fight. Everybody knows, the way it went down. And you've just got to... The hardest part about this fight is you've got to detach yourself and forget about the first fight. We're here because of the first fight, ultimately, but this fight's got to be judged fairly. It's got to be judged equally. And that is the most important thing. We need a definitive winner, and we need a clear-cut winner on April the 27th.
Well, as the anticipation grows for this one on April 27th, so does the demand for news on ticket information for those watching at home and for those in attendance today. Here is all the information you need to know. Head over to matchroomboxing.com for all your information on pre-sale. Wednesday, Matchroom Fight Pass. Friday is the date, though, for general sale release. Stagefront.com and firstdirectarena.com as well. Safe to say, Tone, I said this to Darren as well, but the atmosphere in Leeds, when you're searching for a neutral ground atmosphere, we've had great nights there with Josh Warrington. It's almost that cauldron of noise, the one side, the theatre setup, a bit like it is in Dublin, but a great place to stage this great fight.
It is, and listen, they've got Chorley in here today. These are making enough noise as it is. You had the Scots in Edinburgh yesterday. So both sets of fans are going to make themselves heard on April the 27th. Ultimately, it's all going to matter what happens in that ring, though. And both the fighters understand that. The fan support is massive, it's huge. But when that bell goes, it's just you and him. And who's going to get the better of each other? That's what we all want to find out.
Well, all the questions will be answered April 27th live on DAZN. Now, I know everyone here in attendance very eager to hear from everyone who plays their part in this great fight, but perhaps no more than this man. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Jack Catterall. Jack, great to see you. I'm going to give you the obvious question. What does it mean to you to see this type of support out here for you today?
You know what? Very grateful. They always get good support. Charlie! Yeah. It's a good feeling.
And how does it feel? I mean, yesterday I think you were public enemy number one in Edinburgh. Certainly Sam Jones was as well. At some point we look forward to hearing more from him today. But how does it feel to be here, like I say, in this support? And I think Josh Taylor, he was the popular man yesterday. Safe to say he'll be getting his just desserts today, I think.
Yeah, listen, it comes with the territory. We expected it yesterday. You go up there, that's his back garden. You take it on the chin, and it's his turn today. And these are going to make plenty noise for me today.
Great fight, Tony Bellew.
He's a brilliant fighter. I've been a fan of Jack for a long time, and he's just brilliant from top to bottom. He's got a fantastic team around him, and he's a brilliant fighter. So, listen, the banter that's going to fly today between them both. But ultimately, as I said, and Jack knows this, you can't be emotionally invested come fight night. It starts here, but it also ends here as well, because when you get in the ring on fight night, it's just about who has the best tactics on the night and who's the better fighter, and Jack knows that more than anyone.
I was talking to Tony, Jack, about his experience being in great domestic grudge matches with obviously David Hay, Nathan Cleverley, the list goes on. But what you just said there, how important is it going to be for you over the next few weeks in camp to contain that animosity and the feelings you have for Josh Taylor? Yeah,
I think you know as well as everybody else now, I'm not that emotionally invested. It's him who's probably more emotional towards it than me. I know I've got a job to do April the 27th. After these next 2 days are done, it's in camp and it's business time.
What did you think of the face-off yesterday? Were you able, I said this to you yesterday, but I'm sure you probably watched it back many times now. Were you able to take anything from that, perhaps the reaction you got in that first face-to-face?
No, it's kind of what I've expected yesterday. I didn't anticipate any energy that he was bringing. He called me, tried to grab my nipples, which was thought was a bit strange, but yeah, you know what, I let him know, don't come over, don't walk over and touch me, and he won't be doing that today.
I think with rematches, Tony, as well, Eddie said it earlier on the press conference stream we had for Jordan Gill and Zelfa Barrett. They tend to happen immediately. When there's such a demand and a clamour for a rematch, they tend to happen. We've had a bit of a wait for this, nearly 2 years. Yeah. But what's that done in terms of the anticipation? Has that made it stronger in some ways, do you think?
It's made the rivalry more fierce, if you ask me. It's made it more personal as well, because, you know, everyone's throwing the blame game in and wants to blame each other, but ultimately we're here now, and that's all that really matters. There's no point in harping on about what could have been, what should have been. We're here. All these fans are here. Everyone was in Scotland ready to go. April the 27th, it's happening, and that's all that matters now. We'll get to put this rivalry hopefully to bed, and there's a clear, vicious finisher. That's what I'm hoping for, to be honest. You know, an ending to the rivalry, because there's nothing worse than a rivalry dragging on. You don't want a close fight. Listen, I'm being totally honest, the first one wasn't really a close fight, but ultimately you want a definitive answer. You want to know who's the better fighter. April the 27th, we find that out. Well,
Jack, just before we swap you in for someone who I think's already become the pantomime villain, Mr. Sam Jones. No, don't boo him. I think they'll be a fan of Sam Jones today. Your final message to the crowd here before we, of course, meet in Fight Week in Leeds. Firstly, I thank you for their support. But secondly, what do you promise to deliver them, and who wins this fight on April 27th?
Yeah, I think like Tony said then, I don't want to go in there and there'll be questions after the fight. I'm going in there to beat him conclusively. These last 2 days, my phone's blown up. I had thousands of messages, which I'm very grateful for. People coming out in the rain this afternoon to support us, so thank you very much.
Great stuff, Jack Catterall. Thanks for talking to us. If you pass your mic to Tony, we are going to bring in Mr. Sam Jones now for a quick chat, who is standing by stage side. Here he comes. Sam, welcome. I didn't mean to get you booed there. I was actually trying to big you up.
Thank you.
Sorry, I can't shake your hand here. Hands are full. Sam, good to see you. Well played yesterday, I think it's safe to say. Did you enjoy it up there? It looked like you did.
To be honest, I came in peace. But then I saw that there was a very large man giving me a lot of sticks. So I thought, yeah, you're all having it now. So,
How pleased are you, Sam? I know you're involved in this fight on the business side and with Jack as well. But as a fan, how important is it that we are standing here today building up to this great fight?
No, look, I'm fortunate because I am a boxing fan, and to bring a fight like this together means the world. It's a fantastic fight. British boxing needs these fights. It needs rivalries, genuine rivalries, and we've got one here. Look at the turnout here today. Unbelievable. Well done for coming out. It's going to be fantastic, honestly.
For yourself, Tony, I introduced him as the pantomime villain. But I think we always need these characters. We need these characters, don't we, to build the storylines and the narrative. Did you enjoy Sam up there yesterday?
Of course you do. Sam's brilliant at what he does, and he's benefiting his fighters massively. He really is. So he's doing his job, and that's building a fight, making his fighters richer, which is what you want from your manager, and bringing more eyes to the event and more ears. And he does a great job of doing it, so I can't knock Sam out. I've been on the other side with Sam, so I know what it's like. He's absolutely brilliant. He's a good lad. He's got an heart of gold, but ultimately he cares about his fighters and he loves his fighters. And there's not as many managers like Sam as there should be in boxing. There's not as many people in boxing actually like Sam. So he's a plus for boxing. He really is.
Sam,
keep a bottom lip go here, Tony.
Sam, final one from yourself. How strong's the self-belief in the Catterall camp that this is a win?
Listen, unbelievable. But firstly, it boils Josh's piss that Jack is his biggest payday. It boils his piss. He can't accept it. Jack Catterall's going to beat him convincingly. Look, listen, there's a reason why one of the judges of the last fight is now working for Misfits. Do you understand? Jack Catterall's going to smash him this time. Fact.
More of the same from you today?
Eh?
More of the same from you today?
We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Let's go, guys.
Great stuff, Sam. We are just awaiting for the arrival of Josh Taylor, hence why we are getting some guests in here, but it's actually adding to the atmosphere, I think. I believe Mr. Jamie Moore is also in attendance, of course, head trainer of Jack Catterall. Jamie, welcome. Jamie, great to see you, mate. As always. When you take yourself back to that night, and
no one told me I was on the top table, by the way.
Okay,
that's why I've come.
That's why you dressed up.
Exactly.
When you take yourself back to that night, you've been involved in the sport for many years, of course, as a fighter and now as a coach. But how difficult is that a night to look back on, as far as your coaching career is concerned?
You know what? I don't think you can have regrets. I think because if you do that, it eats away at your inside. I think everything's a lesson. You've got to take it on board. You've got to embrace it. It's brought us to this point now, and you know, I've just done a few interviews down there, and we're talking about how them rivalries created. It gives you your career. You create, you know, you and David A. Everyone needs that dance partner. So at the time, was it horrendous? Yeah, but look where we are now. It's going to be a huge. I think the 2 years in between where it sort of marinated and it was all signed up. A few times it's fell through. It's made it even better.
Did you ever doubt that we'd be here? That Jack would get the opportunity and you'd get the opportunity?
I'm not going to lie, a couple of times I did. But you know, all those things that you go through, those emotions and stuff like that, eventually, when you come through the other side of it and you get the victory, it'll all be sweeter.
Heading into a rematch, Tony, how different do they tend to be? And I suppose from a tactical perspective, with regards to Jamie and Nigel Travis, how different are you expecting this rematch to be?
Do you know what the biggest part of going into the rematches I personally looked at is who's done the homework better? Because it's very rare fighters completely switch up and change in styles and the techniques and stuff like that. So who's done the homework better? And you'll find out on April the 27th, because both fighters, two years can be a long time in boxing when you've had multiple fights back to back, but neither have really. And I don't think both have changed massively. So it's just about who's going to want it more on the night and who's prepared better, who's tactically more aware, who can make more adjustments than the other. And, you know, there's someone who wants it more. It really is, because the first fight, I've said it before, I'll say it again, we all know how it went, but this is a new fight. It's a different night, and you can't be getting drawn up on the first fight. You need a whole new set of judges, you need a whole new set of everything that's in place for this fight, but you need a definitive answer, you need a clear-cut winner, and you need a brutal finish, if I'm being totally honest.
What sort of changes are you expecting? Obviously, you can't give too much away on the stage here today, Jamie. That'll be behind closed doors in the gym. But Josh Taylor, of course, second fight with Joe McNally, who's a great trainer, a great boxing man. What differences are you expecting to see in Josh?
Jack Catterall's best attribute is he's so adaptable. He controls the tempo of a fight and he adjusts to whatever's going on in front of him. And generally, whatever your best asset is, he'll take it away from you. So he has to just be, he's got to be like a hybrid. He's got to go in there. He's not going to expect anything. He's just going to react to what's going on in front of him.
And when he was asked for his prediction on the top table yesterday by Eddie Hearn, he said he believes 100% he wins this fight inside the distance. How do you see it in your mind, in all honesty?
I'm going to give the boring answer, and it doesn't really matter to me how he wins. We've just got to make sure we get this win for him because you know, he's had a great career so far, but I don't want it to be everyone talking about the fight what he should have won against Josh Taylor. Yeah. So I'll focus on that.
Jamie, thanks very much for speaking to us. You hand that mic back to Tony Bellew. I believe promoter Eddie Hearn is also standing by stage side to come and have a quick word with us. Eddie Hearn making his way to stage now. Eddie, welcome. My first question to you is, when I used to watch boxing back in the day as a fan, every time you came on the big screen, you'd get booed. Seemingly not as much anymore.
Oh, well, that's only because I'm Team Jack Catterall. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I think if I get booed here, I'm in trouble. So good to see so many here from Chorley, of course, particularly, and Manchester. Chorley is somewhere that I remember as a kid growing up, because my dad used to promote and manage the great Carl Crook as well from Chorley many years ago, great British champion, and you know, honoured to be promoting Jack Catterall in a massive fight. You know, as we said yesterday, this really feels like the Quigg Framptons, the Hay Bellews, the Froch Groves, great British rivalries, and you know, great to have open press conferences with fans and they can listen to Sam Jones and Josh Taylor and everybody else up here. Keep the atmosphere going, and we're going to have a great night tonight.
Did you enjoy yesterday? Because that was a great turnout as well.
It felt invigorating because we're doing a lot of fights internationally. You know, we know there's a lot of big fights going to the Middle East and Saudi Arabia, which is great. You know, they're delivering massive fights for the fight fans, but we need the big fights in Britain. And so far this year, there's nothing been bigger than Taylor Catterall 2. The atmosphere in Leeds is going to be incredible. This lot will be there. There was a massive turnout in Edinburgh yesterday. It's Scotland versus England, but most importantly, it's Taylor versus Catterall, and a chance for Jack to put it right or right the wrongs of Glasgow, what will be nearly 2 years ago.
And this is also a question for you, Tony. How excited are you that this fight is on DAZN and we're all going to be covering it as well?
It's huge. This is the biggest domestic fight that we could possibly make right now. You know, everybody knows that Fury's tied up with Usyk and Josh is tied up with Ngannou. So this is the one to make for domestic honours. It's got proper bad blood. You know, people want to put this to bed. They want to see a definitive finish and they want to see a winner and they want to see who really is the better fighter. Is it Josh Taylor? Is it Jack Catterall? Everyone's got an opinion, but we'll find out on April the 27th.
And for you, Eddie, you echo that. You see this as the statement fight in the UK on DAZN?
Yeah, for sure. And like, you know, I've been part of fights before with Tony, particularly around the hay fights as well. You can try and keep your cool, but when you come face to face up here, as we saw yesterday, it's almost like attack on sight. So we got to make sure that we keep the fighters away. But I want the drama. I want the rivalry. You know, I want these guys to come face to face because the hate is real. And, you know, people were asking me yesterday, do you think hate's a strong word? No, they hate each other. And they have done since that night, probably previously. There's been two people talk about personal insults, you know, teams, everyone's going at it. Nicey, no thank you. Like, let's go to war on April the 27th in Leeds. And you know, let's see who is the best man at 140 come fight night.
And when you look at the top table behind us, Tom Grant remains, as does Sam Jones, of course, who was brilliant yesterday, the two fighters and yourself. We've got the two trainers up there as well, Joe McNally, Jamie Moore. What perhaps changes, although only, 24 hours later, from your approach as well, perhaps some more tactile questions up here today of how both sides approach this rematch?
You know, I think you've got two of the very best trainers in the sport in Jamie and Joe. I mean, Tony knows Joe very, very well. You know, he's been a breath of fresh air for British boxing from a training sense. He's got a fantastic stable up there at the Rotunda. Very smart guy tactically. And, you know, I guess the key is, and Tony will know, he's probably not to fight off emotion. Jack's talking about he wants to go through Josh Taylor, try and knock him out this time. You know, Josh Taylor is a guy that gets fired up very easily. He fights off emotion at the press conference sometimes and also in the ring as well. But I don't know if you can stop that, you know, on the night. There's so much on the line that you see every time they come close to each other, they want to fight now. And that'll be no different April 27th.
How big of a talking point do you believe the weight is in this fight, 140 pounds?
Listen, Josh asked for 140. You know, we want it at 140. But that was not a condition of the deal. We went into this negotiation thinking that 142 or 143 was going to be the weight. You know, Josh talked about moving up, but he feels that 140 is the right weight for him if he's got the time to do it, of which he has. So no excuses. You know, he called it on at 140, and that's where he feels he's at his best.
And when you look at what Josh Taylor has achieved, an undisputed world champion, do you believe, Tony, he ever got the credit he deserved for that achievement?
He's a brilliant fighter. He's lifted all them belts. You can never take that away from him. He went in the Super 6 Series tournament and he won it. You know, he'd done his job. He's under such a dark cloud basically because of his reaction to the Jack Catterall fight, and that's harsh really, to be honest, because no fighter's ever going to go in the ring and go, I thought I lost. You're not living in the real world. But at the same time, he could have handled it a little bit better, if I'm being totally honest. Jack has come out of it and he just needs this fight to happen. Neither of these fighters can let their career progress without each other. They've got to come face to face and put this to bed. I said it on air when we were working with DAZN. They both need each other to put it to bed, and that's where we're at now. And ultimately, on April the 27th, hopefully, this feud ends.
Eddie, what do you think will mean more to Jack Catterall? To beat Josh and have what he believes is revenge on what should have been, or win a world title, or both?
Well, I think, you know, firstly, Jack Catterall should have been crowned undisputed champion, you know, a couple of years ago. But it's over, you know, and there's most people thought he won, some people thought Josh won, particularly himself. You know, but I think from there, it's a situation where this means more to Jack Catterall than winning a world title. You know, back then it was for undisputed, but this victory will mean more than beating a 140 pounder for the world title. But you win this fight, you walk straight into a world championship opportunity at 140. So you're kind of killing two birds with one stone.
What can you tell us about the undercard plans for this one?
Yeah, well, obviously, we had a show on April 27th. We're moving Peter McGrail's rematch against Jericho Quinn, where he got knocked out in Phoenix, on the undercard as well. Plenty more to be announced. It's going to be a big night, big day, big build-up. And I'm expecting an incredible atmosphere in Leeds. As I said, 12,000 in that banked arena. We've had more sign-ups for ticket registration than we've had in any show in the last couple of years. Jack has got massive fan base, if you see it tonight, and they'll all be travelling. You know, he continuously brings those fans to Liverpool and to Manchester, and the whole of Chorley will be out to support him on April 27. And it's a massive all-British fight.
Talking about rematches, of course, but that one in what I believe might be the chief support. Peter McGrail, Tony, someone you know very well. That was a very difficult night for him in Arizona.
Yeah, he was doing absolutely fantastic, and then to get clipped like that is very tough to take. But he'll come back, he'll learn from it. He's an exceptional fighter with an exceptional amount of pedigree behind him, internationally experienced. He's just got to get it right on the night and not get involved with that guy, because he can really punch. When
it came to the conversations, Eddie, with Team McGrail and looking at what was next, what was the verdict you got from them?
Straight. I mean, I walked in the change room. They said, please get me the rematch. I mean, he won every round. He dropped Jericho Quinn twice and then got carried away, was squared up his feet and walked straight onto a right hand, you know, but it was a bad knockout. And, you know, I believe that Peter McGrail was a world champion in weighting. I still believe he is. But that fight is absolutely everything. I mean, if he loses that fight, he's in a terrible position. So fair play for stepping up for the rematch, and just part of a huge card that will land in Leeds.
And the show rolls on DAZN from week to week. Oaxaca last week, and of course this week, Edgar Berlanga against Paddy McCrory. An interesting fight. What do you see as the dangers for your man Berlanga?
Well, the danger is the punch power of Paddy McCrory, and the fact that he has absolutely zero fear and nothing to lose. Ranked ahead of Berlanga in pretty much every governing body. Team Michael Conlon, Team Jamie Conlon, they're absolutely convinced he wins this fight by knockout. It's called Shootout. It's a massive show in Orlando because that's a great fight, but also beneath it, the return of Andy Cruz in just his third fight, fighting Zamaripa, who had a touch-and-go fight with Angel Fierro. Gearsov against Kano, final eliminator for the welterweight world championship as well. Big night in Orlando. And then, well, I was going to say a week off, but of course Ray Ford fights Komatov for the world title. And then we head to Saudi for Joshua Ngannou. So non-stop action on DAZN.
You've been a fan, Tony, of Andy Cruz since he turned professional?
Exceptional talent. Unbelievable talent. So I'd say let him off the leash, but you already have. Yeah. He's an exceptional fighter, mate. He's really good. World champion. I'm sick of seeing people, how many weights can they go up? Just dominate at a weight, kid. Dominate at a weight. And then if you're forced to go because there's no one left, then so be it. But dominate at a weight first, unify it out, and then get it done.
And that big one, of course, in Saudi, Joshua Ngannou. I think it was an interesting conversation when you look at Ngannou's fight with Tyson Fury. Did he do him a favour? Because he proved that he can fight, right? And do you think that's done AJ a favour in this camp, giving him more to study at least?
Styles make fights. You can't judge a man's whole career based on one fight, and you've got very little footage to actually study. He goes on the back foot against Fury, which was always the plan because that's what was going to make it really hard. Tyson Fury struggles with people who go on the back foot. Josh is a completely different animal to Tyson Fury, and when he smells fear and smells blood, he'll jump all over him. Stronger puncher, quicker in combinations, just not as good a boxer and not as slick as Tyson Fury, but the slickness was taken away from Tyson Fury because Ngannou went on the back foot. People who understand and know boxing will understand and watch what they're seeing in front of their eyes. Ngannou was on the back foot the whole night against Fury, making a miss, countering him, and actually dropped him. So Josh is not going to give him them kind of advantages on the fight night.
Eddie, your thoughts on that one? No room for error, really, for AJ, as there never is.
On paper, everything Tony says spot on. You know, you'd expect him to come through Ngannou, but Ngannou is mentally very strong. He has no fear. He's a man mountain and he can punch. But I expect Anthony Joshua to stop him on March the 8th.
And in terms of that Fury-Usyk fight, Tone, you've always been very opinionated on that one. Just break that one down for us. Who do you see winning that fight?
I don't think anyone beats Alexander Usyk. I don't think anybody beats him. That includes Tyson Fury. Said it many, many moons ago, and it is what it is. It's just, the craziest part about it is, I think when Tyson Fury was with his uncle, he actually does beat Alexander Usyk. But as soon as the training patterns change and his style changes, he's now an aggressive counterpuncher. So he presses you first to get you to punch. It ain't going to work against Alexander Usyk. I think the only chance he has, in my opinion, is a puncher's chance. And he's not the biggest puncher, if I'm being totally honest. I still think he's a brilliant fighter, take nothing away from him. What he's done for the heavyweight division is amazing, but I just think Alexander Usyk's the best heavyweight in the world.
Well, we could stand here and talk about boxing all night, but there is a press conference that everyone in attendance here is waiting to get underway. I am hearing that Josh Taylor is now in the house and we can get today's press conference underway. If you did need a little reminder of the history of this fight, the history between these two, where that animosity comes from, what the questions are that will be answered on April the 27th live on DAZN, here's a little reminder.
Jack Catterall should be the undisputed champion.
It's an embarrassment that he was walking on the punches.
Jack Catterall's been screwed here.
Josh by 1 round, 113, 112. It was a tough fight to score.
Never in a million years did he win that fight.
The ring man won the fight.
He doesn't believe that.
Josh Taylor against Jack Catterall rematch works.
There was not a single doubt in my mind that I'd win the fight.
He'll soon realise they didn't win that fight.
It's one of, if not the worst decisions I've ever seen.
His career is kind of a bit lost.
It's inexcusable.
He must know he lost that.
How can we all be wrong?
It wasn't a close fight.
Well, I thought there was only 1 minute.
I feel like it was a close fight, one that could have gone either way. Can't wait to smash his head in.
Jack Catterall was robbed.
I want to fucking hurt him the next time. It's going to be a long painful night for him.
When I beat him, it's finished.
I'm going to outbox him. I just want to get in there, give him a beat down.
Taylor, where are you? Let's have it, you shittos.
Maybe I'll go back. I'll get across there.
Well, Tony, we are just waiting, I believe. I'm being told in my earpiece. Just waiting for Josh Taylor to make his way to the table. Bit of mind games here as well, maybe.
He'll take his time. Josh is just going to do what he's going to do to it. Probably infuriate and annoy people, so sit and wait and be patient.
Can you expect anything different today? When you were going through your career and you had these press conferences, like we say, immediately after, tend to be going over the same topics, but can you expect anything different?
Not really. I mean, listen, both of these guys can't stand each other, and it's quite apparent when they come across each other, they just want to get it done. So hopefully the security boys are on the toes and they don't actually get to do it here, because we all want to tune in on April the 27th.
Well, as you can see, Joe McNally is just here. I think he'll be making his way to the table very shortly. Still just awaiting the arrival of Josh Taylor. I think the reality was he was stuck in traffic in rush hour here, making his way from Liverpool, but I am just getting a thumbs up from security. This is the beauty of live television, eh, Tone?
Yes, this is the beauty, and I must stress, you know, this isn't downside of the teams. Joseph McNally and Jamie Moore are both amazing individuals, both amazing trainers, and this is just an event. Enjoy it.
Well, here we go. Tom Grant making his way into the room now, and here is Josh Taylor. So we can get today's press conference underway. To tell you all about it, here is promoter Eddie Hearn.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Manchester for part 2 of a slightly lively press conference ahead of the fight of the year, the British fight of the year, the rematch between Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall, April 27th in Leeds. We have a night that you will not forget. Of course, the controversy of the first fight will be settled in an unbelievable night, live and exclusive on DAZN around the world, part of your subscription on the global home of boxing. We're going to introduce the teams, and the away fighter just today, part of an incredible career, undisputed world champion. Firstly, I want to introduce, on the far right, a member of the Josh Taylor team, lawyer and representative Tom Grant in the house today. The trainer, a young trainer from Liverpool that has had an incredible run in the Rotunda gym, incredible stable. Joe McNally is here today. And I'd like to introduce as well a man that has had an incredible career, the undisputed 140-pound champion, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Taylor. And to my left, perhaps A round of applause for the first time in his life, and maybe one time only, the manager of Jack Catterall, Sam Jones, is in the place tonight. Part of two great trainers on this table. Obviously a man that has represented this city in memorable fights, a fantastic career, and now a fantastic trainer, Jamie Moore, as well in the house. And the man to my left, looking for revenge on April 27th. We're in Manchester, but Chorley's very own, Jack Catterall. Okay, we're going to start to my left. Sam Jones, you kicked it off yesterday. You had your backwards and forwards with Tom Grant. Some say he got the upper hand, but welcome to the press conference ahead of part 2 of the press tour, and of course a massive night on April 27th.
Firstly, yesterday we were in the great city of Edinburgh. It is a great city, but it's not a fucking patch on Chorley. Yeah. No, look, Tom said... I didn't actually hear what Tom said yesterday. I know, like, he mentioned Ben Shalom for some reason, but him and Ben Shalom have got a bit in common. They've both got the charisma of the weather outside. No, look, it's a fantastic fight. We've got two great trainers on here, two of the best trainers in the country. It's a fantastic, fantastic fight, as I said yesterday. All I want from this fight, I don't want Josh to make any excuses. He demanded the weight at 140. I think that's just a ready-made excuse just there. But it's a fantastic fight. British boxing needs rivalries like this. It's got two great fighters, one former undisputed champion, one guy that should be undisputed champion, but it's going to be a great fight. And as I said yesterday, Jack Catterall is going to whoop Josh Taylor on April 27th.
Tom, welcome. It's a good atmosphere yesterday for you guys. History repeated today as well, but good fun, good rivalry. And again, full of confidence ahead of April 27th.
Yeah, 100%. It's what it's about, you know. These domestic dust-ups is exactly what we've come out for. And all that matters is what happens on April 27th. Now, I didn't catch what you said at the start there, Sam, but... but all that matters is that Josh Taylor's going to beat Jack Catterall on April 27th, and all these people are going to struggle watching it.
We'll go to the trainers now, two guys that are going to play huge parts. Jamie, for you, first time around, you felt that you deserved the decision in Scotland. You obviously stand by that still, and you believe this time Jack will be victorious in Leeds.
Yeah, I've always been a big believer in Jack. I've said it from the day he came into our gym that he'd be a world champion. And I've just done loads of interviews and basically said the same thing to everyone else. This is such a good fight because it's been created by that narrative. You know, it was a controversial decision in the first fight, and a lot of, you know, the vast majority of people thought Jack won, and then that 2 years in between has created more of a better story, which has made it more. You know, people are more interested in it now than they was when it first should have took place, sort of 6 months afterwards.
What's going to be different this time around? You see, obviously, it's going to be almost 2 years since they stepped in the ring together in Scotland. Josh suffered defeat, albeit to Teofimo Lopez. He must win this fight as well. A lot of personal pride for Jack as well. What's the difference in Jack Catterall between that time difference?
Well, you've kept him busy. You know, he's active, which is the main thing, which has not been good for him over the last sort of 5 years. He's now active. He's always in the gym. And, you know, Josh has had that one loss, but I don't buy into the fact that, you know, he's on the slide because he's lost to Teofimo Lopez because he's an unbelievable fighter. So we're going into this fight knowing that we're going to get the best version of Josh Taylor because it's such a grudge match, and we're going to train for it.
And finally, you stand by, you believe he won the fight last time,
Absolutely,
and you believe he wins the fight April 27th?
Yeah, but that's I do, of course I do, but that's irrelevant now. Always what matters is what happens on April 27th.
Well, Jamie, thank you.
The last guy that scored the fight now works in Misfits, Eddie. We know who won the fight.
Joe, welcome. You weren't involved in the first fight, but you're involved in this one. You know the rivalries. You've seen it over the years. You have a tremendous fighter in Josh Taylor. I know you rate Jack Catterall as well. You're confident that your man can do the business in Leeds?
100%, Eddie, you know. Thanks for being here, the undisputed champion of the world. And look, the first fight was a cracker, and I just hope we get the opportunity for Josh to showcase his skills. Jack with his counter-punching, and we have the right official, so there's no clinching and holding, and let the fight flow. And if it's that and we get a good fight, we're in for a good night.
You talk about the clinching and holding. Jack was quite vocal yesterday in saying that he's going for the knockout in this fight. He believes he'll stop Josh Taylor on April 27. Do you buy that? Do you believe in that? You hope that is the tactics that will ensue?
Yeah, look, it's what we're in professional boxing. Small gloves, anyone can be knocked out, but Catterall, he isn't a knockout puncher, and that's a fact. You know, he couldn't get an old shot Linares out of there, and to think he's going to get this man out of there, not a chance. But I just hope he performs. He'll be ready because he's with a fantastic team. Because this man will be ready, and may the best man win. We're really confident.
Whenever a fighter suffers defeat, albeit to a great fighter in Teofimo, people question the future. From everything you see in the gym, the hunger that Josh Taylor has, still the top fighter at 140, and will take care of business against Jack Catterall.
100%, yeah. There was a few things that needed addressing in the camp with Teo. I personally think we shouldn't have went ahead with it, off the injury that he had for the Jack fight. But look, it was one of them fights, Eddie. Around here or there, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. He'd be fighting a Devin Haney or, you know, a Davis, a Tank Davis, but we never got the decision, so we're sitting here because of Josh Taylor, not Jack. That's a fact. So look, I'm excited for it, and we're here because of this man, and I'm excited to go into this one all guns blazing. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Jamie Moore, thank you very much, Joe McAnally. Over to Jack Catterall. Jack, I think we had a great turnout yesterday, another great turnout today. Last time the fight was a great fight, didn't have the attention, obviously, that it has now. You ready for the defining moment of your career on April the 27th?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to thank everybody that's come out today. Yeah, it's an exciting fight. It gets the juices flowing. It's been talked about, I'm sure. The same for Josh for the last 2 years. Everybody asking when this rematch is, so it's good to finally have the date locked in, and I'm ready to settle it.
Both of you said yesterday that, you know, hate is a strong word, and I don't hate, but there's something about you two that, you know, when you come face to face, it's almost like attack on sight, you know. And I know
you know what it is. They've said the England v Scotland narrative, but it's more of me just fighting a prick. He's just not a nice person. That's it.
Did you think of that all by yourself, Jack? Did you think of that all by yourself? Huh?
You look like a baghead.
You get away from your crayons for a little
You
bit.
look like a baghead.
Hey, you're a little fucking one pea brain that you've got. Your one brain cell that you've got. Jack not giving you the lines to say.
Josh,
you don't have to let it talk by yourself.
You finished.
Get back to your crayons.
You're finished after this fight.
Back to your crayons. It's not happy hour yet. It's not happy hour yet.
Jack, people talk about the pressure of this fight. There's big pressure on Josh Taylor as well. People even talking about careers on the line. You want to become a world champion. That's all you want in your career. Defeat is not an option for you against Josh Taylor, because the loser is a long way off challenging for the world title.
100%. Listen, I know what lies ahead of me. As much as the press conferences, the weigh-ins, I've got a job to do. April the 27th, I'm preparing for the best version of Josh Taylor. So when I beat him, and I beat him convincingly, I can move on with my career.
A lot of people talk about the first fight. You know, they accuse you of boxing negatively in the fight. This time around, you say you're going for the knockout. You believe you'll stop him. I know you dropped him in that first fight, but you truly believe you end this fight inside the distance?
100%. I think he's there to be beat. I think I've got his number. I know I've got his number, and it's only a matter of time before he touches the canvas again.
And before we go to Josh, obviously, you've had great support in Manchester, in Liverpool, April 27. This lot, quick word for them and the support they'll be giving you in a packed-out Leeds Arena.
I know Lauren's stressed. Can we get some more tickets for the fight, please? Listen, we've had a great response, and it's expected with a big domestic fight, so very grateful for everybody's support.
I know as well, you know, you live for nights like this. This is what every fighter wants to get involved with. You've won undisputed championships, but this is something a little bit different. A massive British rivalry, a huge night, April 27th. You come in here full of confidence ahead of this fight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this fight done. Finished yet? Anyway, Red, yeah. I'm looking forward to getting this fight done. The first one's done. Couldn't beat me the first time. Certainly ain't going to beat me this time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Eddie.
Again, the same question to you. They can hear us on the stream, don't worry. There's something about you too. Well, I know you're a fiery character as well, but you just seem to want to get your hands on each other ASAP. You know?
Yeah, it's been a long 2 years coming, you know. We tried to get the fight done straight away. It never happened. Mandatories then come in, but we're here now. There's no point in keeping talking about what happened. We're here now, and we're going to settle the score on April 27th, and I can't wait. You know, and you need to have a word with your man here. 3 times he's tried to put his hands on me. He's meant to be a professional athlete. Keep it professional. Keep your hands to yourself, you little rat.
You come for me nipples yesterday. You come for the nipples. Weird.
Yeah, your little chippy tits. Your little chippy tits. That's what it was. You little fatty.
Josh, same question to you that I said to Jack. You know, your career, you've achieved everything in the sport. It really is must win on April 27. Coming off, I know, that defeat as well, but Jack wants to go and fight for world titles. He must win as well. You see this as absolute must win for your career?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a crossroads between the two of us, you know, because when I beat him this time again, man, he's got nowhere to go. His biggest night is me, and then when I beat him again, he's got nowhere to go. He'll retire without a prime, without no belts, never be a world champion.
Are you surprised at what he says about thinking that he wins the fight by stoppage?
Listen, all good. Like, if you're a fighter, if you're not a fighter, you're in the wrong game if you don't believe in yourself. So, like, of course he's going to think that, but he's never knocked out anyone in his life. No anyone credible.
We've got the same amount of knockouts.
You know what?
You're just thick. The same amount of knockouts. 30 knockouts, yeah?
Yeah, all right, yeah. Good.
Guys, as we said previously, the final words from the two fighters. Josh, finally from yourself. I know the support's not really here, but it was here in Edinburgh. There in Edinburgh yesterday. You're going to have a huge travelling army yourself coming down to Leeds, April 27. A message for people watching on DAZN, for fans here, and of course your fans back in Edinburgh. What happens, Leeds First Direct Arena, April 27th?
I end Jack Catterall's career, one that he never got going, and he'll never be a world champion.
Jack, the final word with you at home. April 27th, must win. What happens?
Must win. Thank you for the support. 9 weeks' time, we get to put him to bed.
Guys, I want to thank you for coming here today. Don't forget, tomorrow we go on sale with Matchroom Fight Pass, and Friday, general sale. We have never had so many sign-ups, registration for tickets for a fight in the last 3 or 4 years. It is great to have a big British fight back on these shores. I cannot wait for Taylor Catterall live on DAZN, April 27th. For the last time, ladies and gentlemen, the former undisputed champion of the world, Josh Taylor. Thank you for coming today. And of course, Chorley's very own Jack Catterall. We're going to pose for head-to-head.
Well, Tony, we did have to wait a little while to get started there. We had to do a bit of filling at the top, but that's part of the job. But that delivered. Did you enjoy that today?
Of course. This is brilliant. This is what builds big fights, domestic grudge matches. This is what we want to see. So I just can't wait for April the 27th, Jay.
Do you miss it, Tony? Do you miss days like this?
Every single day.
Do you? Even moments like this, these press conferences, being the villain, being booed, do you miss it all?
There's always a good guy, there's always a bad guy. So it's always great to watch.
Well, we are going to bring the two fighters head-to-head here once again. Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall, April 27th, live on DAZN.
Hands to the surface, Dane. Your little brain cog going, turn on. Is that because your little brain cog turning? The one brain cog you've got turning. Yeah. Finish that. Don't spell finish. Don't spell it. That's all. Simple Jack. Simple Jack. When you've got it, you're never going to be a world champion. No champion, no belts, nothing. Nothing. Biggest fight for me. Twice you've done. You're going to be finished. You're never going to get going. You're never going to go back to fighting in leisure centres again, mate.
Just turn up.
I'll turn up, little chippy bits. I've had injuries, mate. I've had injuries, mate. I've had injuries, mate.
It's too fun. Fucking retard.
Thanks, boys. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, we can't wait, and we've got a few guests we could maybe bring in here. Maybe a quick word with Josh Taylor, and maybe a quick word with Joe McNally as well. Can we bring Josh in? Billy, can we grab a quick word with Josh before he leaves? We'll get a very quick word with Josh Taylor here. Josh, thanks for talking to us. Yesterday was a great day for you, I'm sure. In Edinburgh, your support turned out in force. How did you compare the experience here today?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. You know, it's been a long day travelling. Been stuck in traffic all day and got here a little bit late. So, yeah, a lot of travelling for 5 minutes. But yeah, it is what it is.
Can't wait for this one, Tony.
It's all part of the build-up. This is not Josh's first rodeo. He's done this many a time. Like I said before, former undisputed champion, mate. He's had it all. So he's no stranger to this. And neither is Jack now. This, you know, Jack's been on the big stage as well. He's fought for the undisputed title last time, I'll say, against Josh. So both of them are used to it. As I said before, I'll say again, rematches come down to who studies better, who can adapt more. And that's where rematches are won, in my opinion.
How excited are you now, Josh, to get in the gym with Joe McNally and the guys and really start putting the work in for this important fight?
I've been in the gym for months. Preparing for this. I know this has been coming. So, yeah, I've been in the gym for ages, a long time. You know, we knew this fight was going to be coming soon. So it took much longer with all the kapuffling with Eddie and DAZN and maybe going to go on Sky. And it just took much longer than it should have. You know, it should have obviously happened right away. We had the rematch on straight away, and I picked up the injury. And then the mandatories then come around, and then Jack took another fight, and it just kind of fell away. So, but we're here now, better late than never, and yeah, can't wait.
A quick one on the weight, Josh. Obviously, you're undisputed at 140. They said you demanded this fight at 140. Why do you believe this is the perfect weight for you still?
Well, listen, the fight was at 140. The first they were moaning about it should be at 140, and you know, they were talking about this being an eliminator for a world title. So if Jack wins, which he won't, he gets an opportunity to fight for a world title. But he won't. You know, I've given him on a neutral ground as well. So nobody's got anybody to moan about, you know. And I can confident I can make the weight anyway. I made the weight great the last time out in New York. Obviously didn't get the result, but I made the weight great, and I felt okay at the weight. I just didn't perform very well in the night.
Just finally then, Josh, you said you didn't really like watching the first fight back because you said it was a terrible performance. You don't like when you look at the fight with Teofimo Lopez as well. What sort of Josh Taylor, what version of Josh Taylor do you demand from yourself and expect to see in the ring on April 27th?
The fight is won and lost in the preparation in camp, you know. So this time I've got no excuses with injuries or anything like that. So the best version of me turns up, I'll win, no problem.
You ready to and excited to bring your own support down?
Yeah.
We're going to meet in the middle in the ring as well. You guys, it's going to be a terrific night, isn't it?
It's going to be great. You know, if Jack comes out and fights the way he says he's going to fight, come out and fight instead of spoiling and holding and try to slow the pace down, then it's going to be a great fight. But it'll be one that he ends up losing and probably hurting pretty badly.
Josh Taylor, wish you the very best of luck in camp. We look forward to catching up with you soon. If you just want to pass your mic to Tony or either way, there is so much to look forward to in the build-up to this great fight, Tony. A little bit of a whirlwind up here today,
It's a brilliant fight, and that's what everyone needs to remember first and foremost. This is a fight between two world-class fighters, and that's what excites me the most. You've got to forget about what's gone on now. This is a fresh fight, and we just want to see who the better man is.
Well, let's just give you all watching at home a little reminder of the information on tickets, because that is something that's really going to grow as well as we get closer to this fight. But this week, there are your key dates. Head over to matchroomboxing.com for all your information on pre-sale. Friday, February 23rd is the date for on sale, available from Stagefront and the firstdirectarena.com as well. Expecting them to fly. We cannot wait. What a brilliant night to look forward to this is on DAZN. So much to look forward to on DAZN, but especially this one. Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall 2. Hate runs deep. The rematch. We can't wait.
Jack Catterall should be the undisputed champion.
It's an embarrassment that he was walking on the punches.
Jack Catterall's been screwed here.
Josh by 1 round, 113, 112. It was a tough fight to score.
Never in a million years did he win that fight.
The right man won the fight.
He doesn't believe that.
Josh Taylor against Jack Catterall rematch works.
There was not a single doubt in my mind that I'd win the fight.
He'll soon realise they didn't win that fight.
It's one of, if not the worst decisions I've ever seen.
His career is trying a bit of lost.
It's inexcusable.
You must know he lost that count.
How can we all be wrong? It wasn't a close fight.
Well, I thought there was only one winner.
I feel like it was a close fight, one that could have gone either way.
Can't wait to smash his head in.
Jack Catterall was robbed.
I want to fucking hurt him the next time. It's going to be a long painful night for him.
When I beat him, it's finished.
I'm going to outbox him. I just want to get in there and give him a beatdown.
Taylor, where are you? Let's have it, you shittos.